Well, friends from the world, Maldini, here we are in Butarque. I commented on the match on Movistar. Victory for Real Madrid 2-3. Well, there's a player who is going to remember this match for the rest of his life. He's going to score a lot more goals because he's been racking up goals in Castilla. That's Gonzalo. But that goal in the 90th minute, which secures Real Madrid's qualification against Leganés, well, you always remember the first time. I can imagine he's in a dream. Right now, this kid, as I said, is having a great season in Castilla, but he's come out. Just so you know, I mentioned it during the Movistar broadcast. It was minutes with the match tied at 2. That is to say, Ancelotti trusted him because he's proving himself in the real team in Castilla. And he scored that header from a pass by Brahim, who was by far the best player of the match. I loved Brahim's performance in the game. In the same way, I really liked Leganés. Well, victory for Real Madrid, 2-3, Real Madrid, semi-finalist in the Cup. In a match that has been very beautiful, to be honest. It was a sensational match. Very Cup-like, with moments from Real Madrid. I think Madrid has dozed off at some moments. I think they're still having problems. Madrid without the ball to defend. They lacked aggression at times. And Leganés started getting into the match. They got into the match to the point of equalizing with those 2 goals from Juan Cruz. First, that penalty was pretty clear by Jacobo Ramon. I think that Jacobo Ramon's debut didn't even show. I was talking with Alvaro about how he coached him when he was at Leganés, and that he's a kid with a lot of quality, and it's true that he has it. But Jacobo Ramon seemed a bit inexperienced in this first match against a forward like ones from Leganés, who are forwards, who hold their ground very well, who win a lot of balls with their backs to the goal. And there, well, Diego has won a lot of actions. Then he committed that penalty, but it wasn't his best debut. Is Real Madrid's victory deserved? I think so. I think so. Madrid has created more danger. They had more phases of dominance. There were more moments in the match where they were the main players, and I think that's true. He has become a creditor to the victory and to making it to the semi-finals. But I think that Leganés, once again, against a big team, has shown that it is a very competitive team. In this very stadium, they beat Atletico de Madrid not long ago with that goal from Anastasi. In Barcelona, they were able to win, drew at San Mamés, and in a match, they were losing. Little doigt. Well, they managed to equalize and make things very complicated for Real Madrid. Several details. Later, when we have it, you'll also have the summary with all the highlights of the match a little later tonight. You will have it later, but I want to make this video from Butarque. Before I leave the stadium, there has been a change in formation for Leganés, which usually plays with a 3-man defense. Hey, it was surprising. The coach, it has not gone too well for him. I have to say it, this change in formation hasn't worked out too well because they usually play with a 3-man defense. Today he switched to a 4-man defense, put Demira as left back, and moved Juan Cruz up ahead. And Madrid has found a lot of space. It's a team that has a lot of quality. Madrid hasn't come out, they haven't played with many starters, but Brahim, Güler, who hasn't been at his best today, rather the opposite. Especially in the first half. They improved a little bit, but there were Madrid players who could have switched the play much faster. To play the ball through, to switch the ball to the sides. And if you play with 3 centre-backs, you have an easier time protecting the spaces. With a 4-man defense, it was obviously much harder for them, and Madrid exploited that very well. Madrid exploited that very well to go up 0-2 and frankly be quite superior. The first few minutes without a good Güler, with an excellent Luka Modric. I want to talk about Luka Modric, because he had a sensational match today. And he had a sensational match playing as a pivot, which has really benefited Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni with the ball, obviously it's not the same, but he hasn't had to carry the ball in that position at the base of the midfield. Well, yes, Luka Modric has certainly had a great match. Then when Ceballos came in, what he did was play more 4-3. And to put Luka Modric as an interior player a bit closer to the area, because the fatigue was already huge. I was thinking, if there had been extra time, which was almost the case, how would they have held up? Luka Madrid. Logically, he might not have been able to last the entire extra time, not at all, but we'll never know. And then the match of, well, great match from Luka Modric, great match from Vinicius. Vinicius has been very good, he's been very good. Vinicius is a nightmare for the opponents. I can imagine Rosier, when Vinicius faced off with the ball under control, he created 3 or 4 dangerous plays. Almost every time he has participated, he has created danger. Vinicius, he has practically always created danger. Vinicius, and logically Modric had a good first half. I was surprised by the substitution of Modric for Vinicius. But the feeling is that Vinicius, of course, in that position is absolutely decisive. Much better than Modric, who, I insist, has been quite good. And I want to finish with Brahim. The fact that Brahim doesn't get more minutes at Real Madrid is a testament to the squad that Real Madrid has I think Brahim would be an undisputed starter in 95% of Champions League teams. In 95% of teams. In the Champions League, I say it like this, I say it sincerely. There are very few Champions League teams where Brahim wouldn't be a starter. I'm convinced. I'm thinking about teams, and practically in all of them. Because of what he generates, what he does, every time he receives the ball, the ability he has to make inside passes, to play between the lines. It has been an exhibition at many moments from Brahim. By far, the best of the match, although this match will obviously be on the front pages tomorrow. And it's going to be Gonzalo with that goal. Anyway, Leganés is out of the cup. Leganés' fight, honestly, is to stay in the first division. Although, of course, they were close to forcing extra time here at home. In fact, that shot from Rabah that he saves, what Union brings out, it could have been 3-2, but it was really Madrid, if we analyze the whole match. With its flaws, without the ball, with some players who have been well below the level that could be expected. In the case of Arda Güler, Madrid has been superior, and I think they deserve to be in the semi-finals. We have a Copa del Rey spectacular. For now, two giants, Atletico de Madrid and Real Madrid, are already in the semi-finals. Tomorrow I'm going to comment on Movistar, Real Sociedad versus Osasuna, and of course I'll be watching. Of course, the Valencia-Barça match, and you'll have a video of Valencia-Barça. Besides the summary, with all the footage from both matches tomorrow and much more, because on Tuesday I'm heading to Manchester. I'm here with Alvaro, we're going to Manchester. He's around, waiting for us. On Tuesday I'm leaving in Manchester to comment on Movistar. It's at Manchester City, Real Madrid. What matches we have? Friends from the world, Maldini, a hug, goodbye.